All right, guys, it's Derby weekend. Big couple of games coming up. Let's start off with the afternoon kickoff on Saturday with Arsenal and Tottenham. This is just going to be a quick 5-6 minute video, I hope. And let's get straight into it, and then I'll follow it up with the Liverpool-Everton game on Sunday. Arsenal currently sitting 11 points better off than they were last year. My quick prediction on this game, I'm going for a draw. First of the season for Tottenham, because I don't think they've had any, which is quite astounding to be honest with you, which can only mean one thing: it's probably going to be a draw. I think this is the kind of game, form goes out of the window. If I was Arsenal, I would probably start with Lacazette and Aubameyang and just get at them right from the first minute and try consolidating a victory and hold on to something. Although it's going to be a big ask with Arsenal's defence the way it is, which unfortunately is the only thing that lets them down. So if they can strengthen that in the summer, I think they'll go some way next year. And a quick one into Tottenham. Harry Kane is back. That's not been great for them in the last couple of games, even though he has scored, but they've lost 2 on the bounce. I'm not overly surprised because football is just weird like that. And I did say in a previous video of mine that Tottenham are the kind of team that they don't always step up against the big teams, in my opinion. They've lost to United, they've lost to Chelsea. That being said, Arsenal haven't won at Tottenham's ground, even though Wembley's not technically their ground, but they haven't won away since 2014, I believe, when Rosicky scored. I think it was a half volley. It's quite a good game. I remember that quite vividly. But anyway, that being said, I'm not sure if Harry Kane is a curse or if he wants to be the main man. To give him the benefit of the doubt, I think Tottenham could just be rushing him and he's actually injured and he's not fully fit. But I've always felt with Harry Kane personally, and I don't watch Tottenham that often, I think he's got a personality a bit too big for his boots, in my opinion. He seems to be the kind of guy who doesn't mind his team losing, providing he gets on the score sheet, and that's just me being very honest. That's just my perception of him. Could be wrong, but anyway. So all that being said, I think I'm going to go for a draw at 2-2. Probably because, again, like I said, there's a lot of hype around the game. And the draw is, I mean, everyone is saying 2-1. And if you ask Arsenal fans, they think they're going to win 2-1. Or some of them think Tottenham, might get a draw against them. Most of the Tottenham fans are thinking 2-1 to them. I'm just going to call it straight down the middle. And because I think eventually Tottenham will get at least one draw in this Premier League season. And I think it will be in this game. Now, going on to the Liverpool game. We're away to Everton, and they haven't been quite the same since Origi got that shocker of a goal against them with a T-Rex arms in goal. But again, this one, we seem to be pretty solid at the moment defensively. I've still got some question marks up front, although I think the unpredictability of what we did against Watford, it kind of benefited us because we saw Mane as a striker, and I think Everton were really Watford were really confused as to who to mark, who would play where. It was a bit of a question mark, and nobody really saw that team sheet coming, to be honest with you. I mean, I definitely didn't. I just feel like Origi's got a point to prove. He's playing well. Why not? We scored 5 goals. Just play the same 11. I would not move Fabinho or Wijnaldum from that. I think that them two now have solidified their place in midfield. The back four, I feel like, not so much the fullbacks, although Trent should start. I feel like Matip and Van Dijk have slowly built a bit of a partnership together. I think they've had a number of games now where we're not really leaking in goals at the back, to be fair. There's a bit of an understanding going there, so hopefully we can continue with that. In front of Wijnaldum and Fabinho, I would like to see Keita personally. He's had a bit of a rest. He's going to be fresh. And he's still got a bit of a point to prove. If I was him personally, I'd feel disappointed at being left out of the Man United game. And also the Watford game. I know eventually he came on, but I would put him in the front of those two. And I would play the same up front. So beg your pardon, I would not play the same team against Watford. That would be my only change. Options from the bench, you'll have Lallana, Sturridge, Shaqiri. I think there's enough there to see that game through. As for the scoreline, I am going to go for a 2-0 to Liverpool. If Liverpool concede, I can see the game going to 3-1. I think Everton have got a huge point to prove against Liverpool. And with the greatest of respect to them, that is going to be the highlight of their season. I can't see them doing anything else. and they would love nothing more than to derail Liverpool. Even get a draw, that would be enough. I think it's going to be physical. I can see, my gut feeling is telling me I can see a red card. I'm not really quite sure yet. But I think, to run my 11 just for clarification, Alisson, Robertson, Van Dijk, Matip, Trent, Wijnaldum, Fabinho, Keita, Origi on the left, Mane as a number